Good morning and welcome to the weekly weather briefing for the National Weather Service, Atlanta, for Thursday, June 2nd, 2022. Here are the highlights. Thunderstorms are set to return today and into tomorrow. Isolated severe thunderstorms are possible with a marginal risk for northwest Georgia today and southeast Georgia tomorrow. General afternoon thunderstorm pattern will return on Saturday and into Sunday and should stick around for most of next week. Temperatures will cool slightly tomorrow into the upper 80s with the lows in the 50s before gradually returning into the upper 80s and eventually the 90s throughout next week. Tropical disturbance is set to form over the Gulf in the next few days, and while the track will stay south of our area, it could bring rain to southeast Georgia late this weekend and early next week. Here's a look at the current conditions. Showers and thunderstorms are on the increase across the southeast ahead of a cold front, as seen here. And we expect coverage to continue to increase throughout the afternoon. There is a marginal risk of severe thunderstorms today for northwest Georgia. The primary threats for these storms will be damaging winds with gusts up to 60 miles an hour, locally heavy rainfall, and frequent lightning. Here's one of the models that we use, and as you can see, thunderstorm activity begins to pick up around 7 p.m. and go into the overnight hours. Highest risk for strong to severe thunderstorms will be late afternoon and into the overnight hours. And the highest risk associated with these storms will be damaging winds and frequent lightning. Again, this is model data, so timing is subject to change. For tomorrow, the lingering threat of thunderstorms will remain in southeast portions of the area. The primary risk again will be locally damaging winds. And while we're not expecting a widespread severe outbreak, isolated severe to strong storms are definitely possible. Rain is possible again for southeast Georgia as part of an approaching tropical disturbance moves toward the area. So here's our tropical watch. You see here over the Gulf, we have an area of interest that we're monitoring. And while this storm hasn't developed yet, it has no official NHC track. The majority of the models show that it should move over the southern part of Florida toward the end of the weekend. And while we're not expecting any significant occurrences with the storm in our area, it could bring some rain to portions of southeastern Georgia. Again, this is only model data. All interested parties should continue to watch the NHC for an official forecast upon further development. Drought conditions are present over south and southeastern Georgia. And despite the increased chances for rainfall this weekend, drier than average conditions are anticipated with less than an inch of rain expected over the area for the next 7 days. We're expecting things to heat up again next week. The front today and tomorrow, that's bringing some isolated severe weather, will bring a relief from the heat for the weekend, dropping things back into the mid to low 80s for most of the area, with overnight lows in the 50s. But as that ridge builds up into next week, temperatures will climb back into the 90s, and a few heat index values exceeding 100 are possible for central and southern Georgia next week. In summary, today and tomorrow will bring the most active weather of the upcoming week. Marginal risk for isolated severe thunderstorms is possible today for northwest Georgia and tomorrow for southeast Georgia. Tropical disturbance should pass to the south of the forecast area late in the weekend. Please continue to monitor the National Hurricane Center for an official forecast. The heat returns next week with relatively inactive weather. And while heat indices are not expected to reach critical thresholds, please continue to monitor the forecast and stay heat aware. If you need to contact us, here's our phone number. You can find this presentation on our briefings page or on the web on our YouTube page. Any questions, please feel free to email us or give us a call. Thanks, and have a great week.